Hi guys, welcome to this week's video. We're now in our second month of quarantine. I think it's like week 6, week 7, somewhere in between there. Just wanted to give you an update on what's going on with the world. So first of all, viral. You may have seen in the news, it's kind of viral at the moment, me talking about using semen in smoothies for the immune system. The importance of the immune system fights off illness and disease, especially cold and flu symptoms. So it's something that I'm very passionate about, that I've spoke about for many years now. And actually there's a lot of research online. If you Google the health benefits of drinking semen for the immune system, you will see lots of independent studies. And when the news are actually reporting about me talking about this, they kind of scooch out all the research and proof and they just say, isn't this bizarre? Actually, is it bizarre? When we look at our grandparents' generation, their natural remedies, their home remedies that they had for health and fitness, you make do with what you can get your hands on. So in a worldwide pandemic, when shops are closed, when shops are closed, when resources are limited, why not use natural ingredients for something that can make a big difference to your health? Half the people that have wrote stories about me in the media have never met me, have never spoken to me, do not even care about my opinion on this matter. They just want to make it shock horror. If you do want to see the full story, go on to www.tracykiss.com and you can read everything to do with this, rather than just the headlines that probably brought you here. Next up, I had a video removed on TikTok. I created a TikTok account, which is Miss Tracy Kiss, and I was really excited because everybody in lockdown right now seems to be creating TikTok videos, fun, uplifting, motivational videos to get you through your day and maybe kill a bit of the boredom. So I've been doing workout videos wearing sports bra and hot pants, which is my normal gym attire. Lots of women all around the world wear the exact same thing. I had a video removed from TikTok, cycling on a bicycle, drinking a cup of tea. Very English, oh, do your morning workout. It was removed, it said it was against community guidelines, but you have the chance to appeal it. So I appealed it, and my appeal statement said that when I'm on a bike, holding a cup of tea, drinking and cycling in gym wear, what have I done wrong here? What is it that is against guidelines? I wasn't doing anything inappropriate, just cycling and drinking tea. And then I said, is it down to the fact that I have tattoos? Is that offending people? Or is it down to my body size? Is it the fact that I have large breasts, which were covered in a gym bra, wearing gym clothing, using gym equipment? How have I offended you? Is it my body or is it my body art? And within a matter of hours, that video was back up. My appeal was accepted, and I was shocked to think that they could take a video down based on the fact that I am of a certain size, because that seems to be the reason why they reversed it. Because I said, is it to do with the size of my body? You know, whether I'm very slim, whether I'm very obese, would it make any difference if you're doing the exact same thing? If the act of cycling on a bicycle drinking tea is offensive, then nobody should do that. But if it's a large person or a small person or a big busted or a flat chested, why should that make any difference if the act is acceptable? So that was interesting. I would love to hear your thoughts on that. Have you had TikTok videos removed? Have you had social media posts removed? And how do you feel about censoring and guidelines? You know, I'm not here to shock people. I don't expose myself indecently. I always wear, at the very minimum, swimwear, which you would see anywhere, in a local pool, on the beach, even on television adverts, models in swimwear. So it's not shocking or offensive to be in at least swimwear. And when I wear gym wear, shorts are bigger than bikini bottoms, sports bras are bigger than bikinis. So I really don't see the problem there, guys, but I would love to hear your thoughts on this. Another thing that happened in the news, they actually said that cancer patients are set to skyrocket. So because of coronavirus, because all of the NHS and the health service are focusing their attention on treating COVID-19 patients, that other patients who have heart attacks, who have cancer, who have underlying health issues that would have sought medical help are no longer doing so, so that cancer patients are on the rise. And I saw this and it shocked me. They expect around 18,000 cancer patients to die prematurely because of this, because their treatment has been delayed or deferred. They also then urged, if people find any symptoms, to still present themselves to their local GP, their doctors and practitioners, and to ask for help. The NHS, the health service, is still running for normal purposes as well as treating COVID-19, rather than instead of treating COVID-19. You know, when I saw that, I thought, gosh, that's shocking. That is not just the coronavirus that is killing people, but it's the fact that others are not being seen and dealt with, that they're dying of other health issues, which is really sad and scary. As I'm seeing this, the following day I found a lump in my breast, which is just here. And I've never felt a lump before, I've never found a lump. It was completely accidental that my hand was there, and it's still here now. I had PIP breast implants that collapsed, which were non-medical grade silicone, which was a massive scandal several years ago. I had them replaced by allergen implants, which were then found to cause cancer. And then I had those removed 7 months ago. I have a YouTube surgery series on this, and also I've written blogs about this to help women in the same position to get help and support, as well as to find justice for what has happened. So I had this lump on my breast. I have no idea, even though I'm a woman, what you're supposed to do to keep your breast safe. It shocked me that I didn't know what was and wasn't normal. I've never found a lump in my breast before. I believed with having silicone breasts that don't really have much tissue of my own, so I would never expect to find a lump. And I certainly wasn't looking for a lump. So for it to have been right there as I kind of scratched my chest, to then feel something under the skin, I was quite shocked. So I did actually go to my GP. I first called the out of hours help and said I found a lump. This is what it feels like, this is where it is, what should I do? They said, we want to see you, want to examine you, come into your local practice. And with coronavirus, the whole place was empty. There was nobody in there, and they were only seeing kind of emergency cases. Emergency for a GP is not having a heart attack and dying. That is the hospital. GPs are, you know, I've injured myself, I've fallen over, my child is unwell. Smaller, less severe things. So yeah, I went into my GP, examined my breasts, felt all around them, showed me how to check for lumps, found the lump, felt the lump, and diagnosed it as something that's safe. So it's actually called, it's a long word, fibroadenoma, which is a lump that can be found in the breast, but it's naturally occurring and it's okay. Just to say, on the news, Britain's coronavirus crisis could result in 18,000 more people dying of cancer next year in 2021, while the NHS faces backlog that could last many years after 2 million operations were cancelled. Deaths in newly diagnosed cases is predicted to rise by a fifth in England. The figures jumped to 17,915 when current cancer patients are accounted for. Cancer treatment has been put on hold to make room for COVID-19 patients, and referrals are also down as experts fear that patients are not seeing their GP. So please, if you do find something that's abnormal and not right, you know your body, still consult a doctor. Something else that shocked me was the rise in domestic violence and domestic abuse. I actually had somebody contact me on Instagram who said to me that they were really struggling with depression during quarantine. Had I ever been in a similar situation? Had I ever gone through a hard time and been okay at the end of it? So I was actually a domestic abuse victim for 10 years, which I was unaware of at the time. I shared this in stories on Instagram to say, do you know what, you can overcome hurtful things. I spoke out about how I was treated and how I regained strength and self-belief and self-worth. And I am much happier and more stable in life, financially through supporting myself and my children, emotionally through believing in myself, physically through bodybuilding. Sharing stories and experiences is a positive thing, because you always feel as though you're alone in this world, that you are the only person going through it and nobody understands. But to actually say, do you know what, I've been there, I've done that, I've got the t-shirt, and you can come out of it a lot stronger, that's a positive message to share. Now, my ex didn't like this, he saw it online, contacted me to tell me how mad he was that I had shared my experience online. I didn't mention his name, spoke about what it did to me to go through that. And there you go. The former Prime Minister of the UK, Theresa May, she's taken measures to tackle coronavirus, but it must not do more damage than the disease itself. She debated the domestic abuse bill amid evidence of rising violence during the lockdown. Justice Secretary said that help would be available for all victims during the outbreak, as there has been a surge in violence in the weeks since the lockdown was introduced, with a rise in killings and the number of calls to National Domestic Abuse Helpline running by Refuge up by 49% just after 3 weeks. Addressing Mrs May said the government must think about the impact of lockdown on our overall health and well-being. Police and local authorities should consider random visits to home of domestic abuse perpetrators during lockdown, or addresses where there have been reports of domestic and violent abuse. It would have to be done carefully so as not to make the situation worse. I mean, that's shocking. I also then thought that my Chihuahua Minnie was pregnant. She had locked on with Chihuahua boy Mouse. Her tummy grew, her nipples and breasts were swollen, and she was nesting and sleeping lots and making little beds out of pillows. With the vets not accepting pregnant animals right now, they're just considering doing immunisation for puppies. They said at the time, because of coronavirus, we cannot see your dog. So I actually booked a mobile scanner, which is like having a pregnancy scan for humans, but they do that for animals, and they test to see how many puppies. It's important that when they are pregnant, you know how many puppies they have. They have medical intervention to ensure that they are healthy and strong throughout the pregnancy. And she actually came and scanned Minnie and found that it was a phantom pregnancy, which means that she's not pregnant, but her body thinks she is. So that was a shock, as she very much looks and behaves as if she is pregnant, but she's not, and it happens very commonly in dogs. Symptoms of a phantom pregnancy are lethargy, depression or other behavioural changes, loss of appetite, nesting, digging beds, nursing, your dog may be particularly attached to a certain toy, secretion from the mammary glands and a swollen belly, and she was doing all of those. Next up, you may see that I'm wearing this lovely vest top. This is from a company called Gym Being. They are actually manufacturing affordable gym equipment in the UK because of the pandemic. There has been a massive influx of home gym equipment where people are seeking home workouts because all of the gyms are closed, as I'm sure it's the case worldwide. At this time, people are selling second-hand gym equipment online for extortionate prices when they were originally selling hand sanitizer for £500 a bottle when it should have been 50p. They are selling gym equipment for thousands of pounds for the smallest of things that really are worth a fraction of that price. But they are taking advantage of the pandemic for their own personal greed. So this company, Gym Being, are actually based in the UK. They have a supplement brand clothing line and gym equipment. They sell new and used gym equipment at affordable prices that are delivered to your door. I got some barbells, Olympic bar, dumbbells, and I also bought some second-hand weight plates that can slot onto the bars, and it was awesome. So check them out, guys. People keep asking me what I'm watching at the moment. I've just started Netflix Ozark, which is a really cool series about a family that are laundering money. I do often wonder that when I've seen shows like Prison Break and Orange is the New Black and now Ozark and House of Cards, it's kind of teaching people all these ways to be a criminal mastermind. So I'm thinking, like, is this a good thing to know this? Will the whole world start money laundering and committing crimes and selling drugs because they've seen it on Netflix? Does it have an impact on how you view life? Interesting to know, but I feel like I've now got enough experience to see how people are hiding murders and doing all of these crazy things. I also watched Tiger King with Carol Baskin and that was bizarre, absolutely bizarre. I think we all get sucked into watching movies and box sets and series. It's really addictive, and I'm trying just to limit that to the evening, just for some downtime to switch off after a hectic day, to just watch an episode for an hour before I go to bed. But that's what I'm loving at the moment. I did try to start Game of Thrones because everybody talks about it, but there was like some incest going on there that really freaked me out, and I thought I don't want to be watching that before bed, because imagine you dream of your family members, like what? I have almost completed my nutrition course. I've been burying my nose in my books hardcore, to help people to transition from meat-based diets to plant-based. I'm doing my final assessment paper now, and then I can send it off for marking, which I'm really excited about. It's probably going to get delayed with the pandemic, as I'm sure lots of people are home studying right now, which is amazing. It's never too late to extend your education and further your career. The knowledge, whether you use it or not, is so valuable, and as I love health and fitness, it just fits beautifully into my lifestyle. After I've completed my assessment paper, my final one, then I will begin my yoga instructing course, which I'm really excited about. I wanted to use this time for positivity, for growth and learning, and yeah, home studies are perfect for that. Another thing, we have the rules in the UK for the pandemic that we are allowed to exercise outside of our homes once a day. So people are walking, going on bike rides. The parks are all taped off, so you can't play in a children's play park, but you can walk around the park, just nowhere where you would sit and loiter. I've had some kind of hate online for doing outdoor workouts and posting that to my social media, as I know it's become apparent that other countries are not allowing outdoor exercise once a day. Obviously the rules are going to be different depending on how densely populated you are. I live in the countryside, in the middle of nowhere, out in nature, so I rarely come across people, whereas those that are probably in capital cities are not allowed out. We can also leave our houses as infrequently as possible for food shopping, which we aim to do once to twice a week, like every 5 days, because we need fresh food. Yeah, I've had abuse from working out outdoors, that I'm breaking the rules, that I'm being selfish, that I'm putting lives at risk. I'm following the rules very strictly of the country that I live in. I am always washing my hands, I'm social distancing 2 meters away from people, even though there's nobody around here because it's in the countryside. Leaving my house once a day to exercise and come straight back. I'm fortunate that I live in a place of natural beauty where I can work out just outside my house, where there's a fitness trail, which is still open. It's run by the Forestry Commission, and the people using it are all fit and healthy. Anybody who leaves the house at any time is at risk of catching or spreading this virus. I think the more people you are around, the higher your risk, as they're saying it's the viral load. So the more you're subjected to, the more chance you are of getting worse. You know, living in the middle of nowhere in a country that allows social distancing and exercise once a day, I think that's very important for your mental health, to have sunlight, to have fresh air, to be able to be active and eat healthy and study and take time to do arts and crafts, just everything to keep yourself busy and motivated and focused, as opposed to feeling sad and dwelling on things. So it's unfortunate that people have said such hurtful things. I am being safe as always, to protect myself and my family and the people around me, and I'm following the rules just as everybody else in the UK is doing the same. So when I do receive hate, you may have noticed I block it immediately, because we don't have to expose ourselves to hate. We don't have to accept the hate of others and the negativity. If somebody leaves a bad comment, block them. If somebody is harassing you, block and report them. If you are following somebody that posts things that agitates and upsets you, unfollow them. You are in charge of what you are exposed to and what you see online. So make it a positive experience and keep the hate away. So the weather here was previously very hot and sunny. It was beautiful. We were sunbathing, having barbecues, listening to music. And for the last few days, April showers have kicked in. In England, we always go through a very wet spell in April. And that didn't seem to happen at all. It was like a summer's day, it was beautiful. And now it's raining, it's grey, it's cold. You can't go outside because the rain is so heavy. Day-to-day life changes, has a big impact on your mood and your mindset. On a sunny day, everything seems possible, everything seems bright and cheerful. And on a wet grey day, when everybody's trapped inside and moody, it can feel like the world is a darker place. It's a case of realising that just like the weather, you have good times and bad times. You have hot days and cold days. You have opportunity and failures. You know, but that will always happen. We always need that balance. And just as grey skies give way to blue sunny skies, you know, the same will happen with this. It will not last forever. We will not be in lockdown forever. But we will appreciate our time and our freedom once this is over. I put a poll on my Instagram, and it was the majority of people felt that they were having a bad day versus having a good day. and that really upset me because I don't want people to ever feel that way. But please hold on to the hope that this will not last forever. We are already one day closer to freedom and a new norm in our new world. It will be a healthier, happier, safer place for us all. So please sit tight, focus on positive things, and remove all negativity from your day. It has been my son's 8th birthday yesterday, and it was really unusual to celebrate his birthday with no family, which was so strange because for children and Christmas, you know, special occasions in particular, you want your loved ones around you. You know, to have this small bundle of presents instead of a big bundle, to have just a handful of cards instead of lots, to have a small table of just us eating instead of everybody being here with party food and balloons. It was really, really bizarre, but I'm sure a lot of people are going through many life-changing events right now that aren't the same, that you don't have your loved ones around you, whether they're celebrations or sadness. We are all in a position where we are separated from our loved ones, and we've been using video calls to keep in touch with my parents and friends and family, which has been lovely, but it's not the same as actually seeing somebody. And I think, you know, normally when we are around family and friends, even going to dinner with your partner, people will be on their phones and you'll be sat in silence, not making eye contact, buried in your own little virtual world. But I think after this is all said and done, we will be very much more in the moment with our loved ones. We will treat the time that we have together as the precious blessing that it is. You know, we take for granted that people will always be there. I've seen on the news that other people for children's birthdays have done drive-by present dropping, where they will have family members drive to the end of the driveway, leave a present there and wave from the window to say happy birthday. You know, we could have done that, but I thought I don't want people to leave their homes unnecessarily. So instead, we've said that when we are all back together again, we will celebrate once more. So it was a very small and intimate birthday, which is the first time either of my children have just been at home alone on their birthdays, not having a party with friends, not seeing family, or not going out and doing an event like bowling or dancing or swimming or going to a restaurant. So that was very strange. So yeah, it's safe to say that birthdays, special events and gatherings, even funerals, will not be the same at this time. But when they are back to normal, we will have a new way of dealing with this, and it's all about adjusting and changing. Now, it's also the end of the tax year, and I am about to do my tax return. Something I love doing every year. Being self-employed and working from home with children, I'm fortunate that the coronavirus hasn't affected my income like it has other people. A lot of businesses cannot cope through this. There are government grants that aren't coming through, or there are loopholes. So we're going to see a big change in what we are used to. They said the death of the high street came when everybody started selling online. And I think definitely that will happen even more so now. Massive, massive brands and chains are going under, as well as small independents. So we really must, if we want to keep something, use it and support it. We need to look at honest, independent, organic, natural retailers and help them. Help local food stores, help local crafts, help local fashion designers. Everything will be about handmade, made in your country rather than imported. And that's something we should have done forever. We used to do that. We used to grow our own food, make our own clothes, have our own industries. And then it all got imported to cheaper countries elsewhere where it costs less. You know, the rate of employment dropped, and so many factors happen because of it. It's a ripple in the pond effect that affects so many. So now I think the world is going to rely less on international trade and focus more on the people of each country, of what skills do we have, what can we create on our own soil, and how can we support ourselves as a nation. So I think in the long term this will be good for us. In the short term we will sadly lose a lot of businesses that shouldn't have been lost. So I've been receiving gifts from my Amazon wish list, which is a really lovely surprise, and thank you very much guys for that. You sent me lovely notes and best wishes during this time, which is absolutely lovely. I wish I could do the same for you. There is only one of me, unfortunately, and I can't possibly do for millions what you can all do for me. So thank you, and It means so much. Thank you. I will always post everything I receive, and thank you for sending it. And if you do want to send anything, my Amazon wish list is on my website. Also, I'm a fashion blogger. I blog about fashion. I am still able to do so. There are deliveries every day for different brands. People are doing food deliveries, medicine deliveries, and lots of people are ordering DIY equipment, doing up their homes, decorating, taking care of the spaces they live in. I think it's really good to do this self-improvement, to study, to clean your home, to declutter, to make everything calm and spacious and be a space that we can all live in, because we are using kitchen tables as offices now. We are having children 24/7. It's important to look at the space you have around you and make that as positive and effective as possible. I think after this is over, the first wave at least of quarantine, I think there will be many more to come until a vaccine is found. After this is over, I think people will be looking at the spaces they live in, the people they surround themselves with, how they live on a daily basis. This will bring everything into a more health-orientated environment, I believe, and we will look at ways to stay fit and more active from home. And I think ultimately, a lot of people will be leaving cities to go and live in the country after this is over. So thank you for joining me today, guys. I just wanted to give you an update and let you know what I've been up to. I hope that you are staying strong, that you're being healthy, keeping active, most importantly, being kind to others. This is a time when so many people need so much help, and they may be scared to ask for it, they may be concerned or afraid or just not know what to do. So please keep that at the forefront of your mind. When you interact with anybody, make it a positive interaction, please, and treat others how you would like to be treated in return. Until next time, stay safe, stay well, and I will see you all soon. If you found this video helpful, please leave a like, subscribe to my channel, write me a comment, and keep watching for more.